thank you for joining me. This is your astrology forecast for September 2015. It's really nice to be with you and thanks for joining me. This is going to be a really in-depth forecast for you regarding September. It's a big month. There are 2 eclipses happening in the month, so I'm going to let you know how that's going to impact you and really give you an in-depth overview of what's going to be affecting you via the astrology. So the first thing that happens is that the month starts with a lot of planets and luminaries being in fire, which is your sign. So you're literally going to be in your element starting this month. Uranus trines Mars from the 29th of August through until the 18th of September. And Uranus is the planet of rebellion and doing things your own way. Mars is your desires and what you want to achieve and what you're going to go after without really thinking about it. So when the 2 of them connect, especially in your 1st and 5th houses, you're really going to be interested in finding what it is you love, pursuing it, and really not being so bothered about what other people think, but really going for what you really want to go for. So for instance, if you've always been very sensible and if your mother taught you that you should always marry for money and not for looks, then this month it's not a good time to fulfill that purpose, because you're really going to only tolerate what you're genuinely interested in. Okay, so if it's a physical attraction or if it's a soul connection, whatever it is, you're really going to be strong and pursue that in your own special way. Uranus also trines Venus all month, and Venus and Mars sitting together in your 5th house of romance and relationship, and it's the archetypal male and the archetypal female energies coming together in Leo in a very fiery, outward looking kind of way, and really bringing a lot of energy into your romantic life. If you think of the male and female, when they come together, sparks fly, and sometimes there's a conception of new life. So it's a new beginning, and a new beginning in your own special, unique, eccentric even, but personalized way for you. So I think you're going to be very pleased with that. So watch out for those 2 planets. On the 2nd of September, Neptune, the planet of dreams and water, starts to oppose Jupiter in your 6th house. And actually, it's the opposition, the 2 of them being totally opposed to each other, started on the 15th of August, and it will remain that way until the 14th of October. Okay, so that's interesting because, like I said, Neptune is the dream, it's spirituality, it's the information you get from your higher self. Opposes Jupiter, the planet of good luck and good fortune, which is sitting in your day-to-day earthy reality. In traditional astrology, the 6th house is ruled by Virgo, and the 12th is ruled by spirituality, and the 2 are kind of polar opposites. It's the real world versus the other world. And I think you're going to feel that quite strongly for the duration of September. What is the bigger meaning of this? What is the bigger purpose? And I'm having all of this success in the real world in my day-to-day life. Things are going well. I really feel like you're charmed here at the 2nd of September specifically, but for this whole Neptune-Jupiter opposition. And it's going to be having to be discerning about what is real and what is a dream, if that makes sense. But expect growth in your day-to-day routine and expect it to look better. So allow yourself to dream, because if you have a dream of not commuting to work every day, but would like to work from home, then by dreaming that, you're able to manifest it and bring it through into the real world. Mercury and Pluto start having a relationship with each other on the 3rd of September. And that relationship stays until the 30th of September, and they have a square between each other. Okay, so they start to have some friction going on between the 2 of them there. And Mercury is the planet of communication, and Pluto is the planet of rebirth. So what this means for you is that through one of your social connections, through one of your someone you know, basically, you'll get some information that'll help you to achieve something in your working life. There's also a grand trine in Earth on this day, and that means that you have a great aptitude and a great talent for making practical changes in your life, specifically in your work. So listen out on the 3rd of September for any kind of hints or leads that you get, because they can have a really helpful and productive effect in your working life and also in your financial life. On the 4th of September, the moon starts to square your Jupiter and your midheaven. And that's interesting because your moon is now in your second house of finances and belongings. And I think you do have a good day on this day in terms of financial news. I think you'll either earn some interest or get some extra money coming in, or have more than you expected. Maybe, on a very small trivial level, maybe you find some money in a pocket somewhere. But it's a good day for you financially on the 4th. On the 5th of September, there's a T-square that happens. And a T-square is a great kind of motivating energy, a motivating force. And that is between your Neptune and your Sun and Jupiter, which are conjunct in your 6th house. And then they kind of peak, the apex moves to your moon, which has now moved into your 3rd house, okay? So it's really important for you on the 5th to take these ideas and dreams that you've started to have around your daily working life and the bigger meaning of your life, really, in terms of the day-to-day routine. If you're driving the kids to school for ballet classes and piano lessons every day, and it seems a little bit pointless at times to you, sometimes we look at things we do, and it's like, I know they want to learn ballet and piano, but is this really what my life is? And if you have that kind of moment of questioning your routine, your day-to-day life, it's important for you to communicate that, because on the 5th, you'll again start to get some sort of message or some sort of level of understanding or new insight from speaking to someone or writing to someone or interacting with someone in some way. So the first week of September for you is really insight, enlightenment, greater knowledge about your life and yourself through dialogue with other people. On the 7th, there's another grand trine, and this one now is in water. And the 7th of September, I'd like you to watch out for, because Neptune, your Ascendant, and your Moon now in Cancer in the 4th house, there's a real profound connection and a dream coming true in terms of your personal relationship life. That could be with your family, your birth family, your parents, your siblings, or it could be with your husband, your wife, your children. But there's a real alignment of you and other people, and having a wonderful time, a wonderful day. So for you, Aries, it's important to schedule some good family time on the 7th. You'll all get on well, which is important to know when you're all getting together, because sometimes it can go the other way. I was actually I was watching Netflix the other day, and back in 2000, I think 4 or 5, I used to watch this program, and it's on Netflix. It's Everybody Loves Raymond. And it's that kind of family, they all love each other, but there's so much conflict there. Everyone is in everyone else's business all the time. And on the 7th of September, that's not the case. It's harmonious, you get on very well. On the 7th as well, something wonderful happens that you're going to be so happy about, because Venus comes out of retrograde. Venus is the planet, and she's the goddess of love and romance, and she has been in your 5th house in retrograde from the 24th of July, and she comes out of retrograde today on the 7th of September. Venus retrograde, what that means usually is that it's trickier to start new relationships, it's tricky to start a new business. It's actually not advised to start new business ventures or things that you care about, because when Venus is in retrograde, things are a little bit slowed down, or things are a little bit altered. You may be attracted to something that you wouldn't be attracted to. You might make decisions that that aren't really aligned with your purpose, stuff like that. So now that it comes out of retrograde, you can kind of trust your desires and your feelings more, and things will start to flow more easily. On the 9th of September, the moon trines Saturn. Let me just go there. Yep. And Saturn is in your 8th house of other people. And the moon moves into your 5th house of romance and relationship. So you burst through the blockages, through the structures, through the teachings that you've had about how you're allowed to express yourself, how you're allowed to interact with other people, and you really throw that out. I think you genuinely care about something on the 9th of September, probably another person, and somewhere in the back of your mind it may say, hey, you can't behave like this, you can't do this, what would the neighbors think, or whatever it is, something that's holding you back. But I think you really blast that out of the way and you feel very comfortable just aligning with your passion. It's one thing, to behave in a dignified way and to be, I don't know, classy and well behaved and all of that stuff. But if we live our lives like that all the time, it can feel very restrictive and it can feel very dry. Sometimes it is important to just let your hair down and to let loose and to be silly and to just laugh and to just go for it. And the 9th of September is one of those days for you. On the 10th, your Ascendant, the way you feel about yourself, very truly, naturally, it begins to square your Venus, your Mars, and your Moon, which are all in the 5th house. So this is a continuation, this is an extension of what happened yesterday. You feel very much aligned with yourself, and your sense of fun, your sense of silliness, your sense of humor is really, really alive in you, and you are able to really enjoy yourself and have a good time, which is great. 2 days later, on the 12th, the Sun, the Moon, and the Jupiter are all conjunct in your 6th house, and this is in the build-up to the eclipse that's happening on the 13th. So, a lot of energy, a lot of focus on your day-to-day routine, a lot of organizational ability, a lot of good fortune and good luck in your day-to-day life, especially in your working life. And I really feel that this is a very kind of grounded month for you. Everything is clicking into place quite nicely, and because you have that firm structure, I think that's, on some level, that's why you're able to enjoy yourself so much, because you know everything is in place. If you're totally under pressure financially, if you're being evicted from your place, whatever, those kind of things, they rattle you, and they can make you feel a little bit, well, so it certainly isn't appropriate to have fun, but because your life circumstances are so good, you can relax and enjoy yourself. Now on the 13th, like I said, there is a new moon happening, and that's in Virgo, and a new moon is about new beginnings and fresh starts and pouring energy in. And that happens in Virgo, the sign of discernment and the real world, in your 6th house. So think about where you want to be in your day-to-day routine. Are you happy with the way things are, or do you want to change them? It's a good time to set those intentions. Not only that though, on the 13th, a partial solar eclipse occurs, and that's on the North Node. So it's about pulling information in, it's about pulling energy in. Oh, and the light just changed quite dramatically. Okay, so it's about really making plans about how you want your life to be and how you can plan it. In terms of the practical considerations of this, actually seeing the solar eclipse, it's gonna, if you're in South Africa, in Botswana, in Namibia, in Madagascar, or even Malawi, my old stomping ground, then you'll be able to see this. You're the only place in the world, really, along with Antarctica, who can see this. So that's the 13th. Really, just put some admin work in, put some legwork in, some groundwork, and really possibly even write down what you'd like to achieve and what you'd like to change. On the 14th, and all month really, Mercury is in Libra, and it's in your 7th house. So you come across very, very well, Aries, and sometimes you can be a little bit forceful in your opinions and your views, but this month you're very considerate of other people's feelings. You come across in a really harmonious, helpful, pleasant way, and people don't misunderstand you. So it's a good time to do presentations at work, to start new relationships, also because Venus is now at a retrograde. It's a good time for you to connect with other people. And that was really powerful in the first week of September as well, where you got insights through other people. But for the whole month, you get on well with people, and that's important. On the 15th, Saturn starts to square Mars, and it stays in that square connection with Mars until the 5th of October. Now, these are the big boys, okay? Mars is, like I said, the soldier, your desires, unrelenting, uncompromising force. This is what I want. And Saturn is kind of old father time, he's kind of the structure. It's the emperor in the tarot. It's what's solid. It's what's established what public opinions are, what is appropriate, what you're allowed to do. And these two start to go a little bit against each other. It's like father and son having a bit of an argument. So you're really not going to be particularly pleased with having to maintain the status quo. You want to do things your way. And Mars trines Uranus as well at the same time. So it's like, enough already. I know what the rules are. And I don't care about them. I'm not interested. I want to do what I want. And that's fine. Like I said earlier, it's important to kind of live your life like that as well. But if it gets overly aggressive, you can cause problems for yourself. So just play that by ear, be careful about that, and don't go overboard with it. 17th sees the moon sextiling your midheaven and your Jupiter. And that's nice because you now start to settle in. Your daily routine is still just kind of giving you lots of blessings, lots of positive feelings. You feel good about your life. And now yesterday, since Mars and Saturn started kind of bickering there in the 5th and the 8th house, the moon kind of mitigates that a little bit, and you feel comfortable and you feel able to have compassion for other people on the 17th, and you can see other people's point of view. The moon doesn't stick around very long in each house, so that's not going to be with you very long. That's there till the 19th. And then it's back to me. Okay. Saturn moves into Sagittarius on the 18th, and this is important. I've made a separate video about this, Saturn in Sagittarius, and it stays there now in this sign until December 2017, so it does have an impact. It retrograded into Scorpio for the last 3 months, and Saturn is like putting a microscope or lens on something, and it's been making you, it's been forcing you to examine your feelings and what you care about and what you apply yourself to, which may have been difficult over the last couple of months, but what it now puts under scrutiny is what direction you're going in, what you're focused on, what you're trying to achieve. So really kind of be aware that you're going to get a lot more critical of your path in life, especially in education and travel. You're really going to consider that much more harshly. So if you're booking a holiday, book it before the 18th of September, because you're going to really be very clear and objective about what you're doing, rather than just going somewhere for fun, for instance, okay? On the 20th, the moon squares Chiron. And this is an interesting day because Chiron is in your 12th of spirituality of other people. And I think past disappointments are going to be highlighted on this day. I think you're going to feel like, I'm trying to achieve this, but remember in 2000 when that woman in that school said this thing to me. It's kind of a day like that where past slights, past disappointments could flare up and you could regurgitate them emotionally. There's also a grand trine in fire between the moon, Uranus and Venus now in your 5th. And again, those kind of disappointments flaring up, they could make you overreact and say, enough, again, second time I've said enough, I want to have fun. I'm done with people telling me what to do. I'm done with people hurting my feelings. I'm done with people putting me down. Screw it, I'm doing what I want. I'm going to enjoy my life. And again, that's very good, as long as you don't go overboard with it and start causing even more problems as a result of that. 2 days later, there's a T-square between Uranus and Mercury opposing each other, and then kind of meeting with 2 squares at the apex with Moon and Pluto in your 12th. This is a great day for you to suggest something unique and one of your special ideas to people at work who you get on with well this month, and that will cause I think that will be implemented. If you're a student, if you're part of a study group, you could suggest something or you could make plans. It'll be accepted, you'll set things up. If you're retired, if you decide to do something totally different, again, if you're retired especially, if you're going to do something that's unique to you, not what anyone else has said, you're going to experience a rebirth in your own productiveness, in your own output, in your own creative output particularly. On the 24th, the moon quincunxes Jupiter and Mercury in your 6th house. And this is an interesting day because I really feel like you get a message from the past and it's a dream coming true. on the 24th about your day-to-day life. So whether you get the appointment that you've wanted, whether the house sale goes through, whatever it is, it's a practical dream that becomes a reality. Mars goes into Virgo on the 25th, and now we've got the Soldier in the sign of the Spinster. Okay, so you're really gonna do a very tough spring clean. There's no room for excess, for fluff, for uselessness in your daily life. You become a very tight-lipped headmistress, and you make sure that your daily life matches your expectations. Get very harsh. You get very tough about what it is your expectations are. Expect to be very punctual around the 25th. It doesn't sound very fun, but sometimes we need to get productive, and we need to be on time, and we need to be able to get things done. So if you've been trying to write a book, do a project that when in the past you've been like, oh, this is such work, I can't do this, then 25th onwards with Mars in Virgo, it's really going to allow you to take practical action and to apply yourself to those kinds of things. So again, it's got a plus side to it. Most of these things do. On the 26th, Pluto starts to trine your midheaven and your Jupiter. I may have mentioned this before, but again, Pluto's in your 10th. It's about rebirth in your career. And again, I actually think you're going to get some good news in your working life. There are a couple of days in this month where you really get positive feedback from other people. On the 28th, there is that full moon in Aries, and the full moon is about blossoming and things coming to fruition. And it's in your sign, Aries, okay? This is your full moon. This is you really being at the peak of your powers, at the top of your game, at the height of your fun levels, and really being able to achieve the things you want to achieve. But it's also a total lunar eclipse. And the people who will be able to see this are people in Western Europe and Central Europe, Western Africa, South America, and the East Coast of the States. So loads of people will be able to see this. And this is about letting go of something, this eclipse. It's in your sign that you can let go of things that are no longer serving you about your own personality and really galvanize your forces and really become the person you want to be. It's like a snake shedding its skin. You can let go of the old stuff that doesn't help you anymore. That's really, really positive. And then finally, on the 30th, there's a grand trine in Earth. Another very, very practical day for you, and you finish this month with another career or work or money success or day-to-day routine success. So it's a very practical, grounded month for you, and I think you're going to be very, very pleased with the way your day-to-day routine runs. I think you're going to be really happy with that. So that's September for you. I hope you found that useful. If you'd like a private reading with me, please visit my website. It's gregoryscott.com. And if you want to find me on Facebook, you can. It's facebook.com/GregoryScott444. Have a wonderful September, and I'll speak to you on the channel for the daily tarot readings and all the other videos I do. Have a great month, and I'll speak to you soon.